I'm here with Julia Knight from Lyme Disease UK. Now, Lyme disease is a horrible disease, very misunderstood in many cases, so I'm going to ask Julia a few questions about it now.
Okay.
So, what is Lyme disease?
Lyme disease is caused by a bacteria called Borrelia that's carried by infected ticks. Not all ticks carry the bacteria, so we don't want to panic anybody. But ticks are now endemic in the UK. They've been found in every county. We've had people bitten in all the London parks. There was a lot of publicity last year about Matt Dawson, the England rugby player, was bitten in Richmond Park while training and ended up with open heart surgery because it was missed by his GP.
So it's kind of a disease that can be caught from the ticks,
Yeah.
but then it can become a chronic illness post that.
It can if it's not picked up immediately. Sadly in the UK our blood testing is not great. It's only about 60% accurate. So lots of people get a false negative and then are dismissed by their GP and become very ill, like I did. If you can pick it up fairly quickly, get to a GP who hopefully is knowledgeable, lots of them not, get early antibiotics, you can recover.
So you're a sufferer as well?
I am, yeah. I was bitten in 1999.
Okay, and what were the symptoms?
For me, I didn't have the typical bullseye rash that you'll read about. After a few weeks, I became generally unwell. So that would have been, I was bitten at the beginning of May, was a bit unwell in July, but no obvious cause for it. And by October, I was bedridden and couldn't write my own name. And I was a master's student at the time.
So a really serious disease. It's nothing to be sort of taken lightly.
Not at all. It can affect people in different ways. It can affect your joints, so you get an arthritic type illness. It can affect your heart, like it did Matt Dawson. And it can get into your nervous system and affect your brain, like it did with me.
And how are you now?
I would say I'm about 70% back to normal, whatever normal is. I still have limitations, more to do with talking. I still can't read a book. I can read, but only for a very short period. Computers, very short period. Noise and light sensitive, so anything like strobe lighting, or even somebody having their TV up loud, to me is really painful. But I've rebuilt my life. But there are people who have had similar pattern of illness to me who have never rebuilt their life. You know, they got missed with the diagnosis, they became sicker and sicker. They're now bedridden, in wheelchairs, no help on the NHS because it's misunderstood by the medical profession.
It seems to be, I mean, we seem to know so many things now. In medical science has come a long way, but when it comes to Lyme disease, it doesn't seem to have progressed at all.
The medical schools don't teach much about it. You'll find a lot of GPs are under the illusion that unless you've been to the town Lyme, where it was first found,
Right.
so Lyme disease.
That's where it comes from, right?
Have you been to America? Well, no. Well, you can't have Lyme disease. Have you been somewhere where there's deer, because predominantly deer ticks carry it? Well, no, but you can't have Lyme. In actual fact, it's now been found, infected ticks have been found in every county in the UK, as with Matt Dawson, London parks. I've recently had contact with a marathon runner who got bitten in Richmond Park.
Right.
Luckily enough, she found us on Instagram, sent me a personal message.
Yeah.
Got instant help, you know, gave her all the information, told her to go armed with information, push her doctor, who didn't really want to know, and now she's back running marathons.
So really, the sooner you can get diagnosed and treated, the better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, what sort of advice for people like myself? We work out in woods, you know, sleeping on the ground, often in sort of areas that have deer and livestock. So what sort of advice would you give to people like me for how to avoid it and what to look for if I have actually caught it?
Right, so before you even think about doing those things, make sure that you dress appropriately. Don't go out in your shorts and t-shirt, even if it's boiling hot, because they love warm areas of your body. Most popular areas you'll find or you'll miss a tick under your hairline, around the front of your hairline, in your armpit, in your groin. So dress appropriately for the environment. Make sure you've got a good tick repellent.
And what's in that? Is that
A lot of them
DEET?
do have DEET,
Right.
but this particular one, they've just brought out a non-DEET one, so it's more natural ingredients, but it is effective for 10 hours. Very gentle for children, because DEET can be quite...
It's nasty
it's
stuff,
not
isn't
very
it?
nice.
No.
So they're bringing out more, stuff with it. I think this has got citronella and
It's just a
stuff
roll
in.
on. Okay,
This
that's
is just a roll on, so easy to pop into your pocket. As I say, if you're out and about, do the obvious things like tuck your trousers into your socks or stick an elastic, but just so, because they do like to crawl up people's trousers.
I'm starting to feel itchy just talking
Yeah.
about this.
But bear in mind that not all ticks carry the infection, otherwise none of us would ever go into the countryside. We're not telling people not to go, we're just saying be aware, wake up to Lyme, protect yourself, be aware what to do should you suspect or you see the typical bullseye rash.
Right.
Bear in mind not everybody gets the typical sign. If you
Okay.
suspect, arm yourself with knowledge. We have a big website, Lyme Disease UK, lots of info on it. Get genned up, be persistent with your
There we are.
GP.
Right, so it's Lyme Disease UK.